Representative Barr, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're one of 23 members serving their first term in the 2017-18 biennium. How has being elected to the House of Representatives changed your day-to-day life?
Okay, that's a good question. How has it not changed my day-to-day life? So, I've always been a scheduled person, but as a small business owner, you kind of schedule meetings and you sort of come and go. So it's a lot more structured, particularly when we're in session, because we have a very specific process. We have committee meetings, we have session, you're meeting with constituents, so I have more formal scheduled hours so that people know that they can meet with me when I'm here. I'm meeting people in district. I do lots of tours in district. You run to the supermarket to pick up some bread and milk, and you run into constituents, and then you're chatting with people there. I'm out walking my dog, I'm chatting with people there. So I would just say that it's changed probably every area of my life, just being, a state representative now. And I think in very positive ways too.
Actually, sticking with that, I watched a video on your campaign's Facebook page that highlighted your district, 52B, and it kind of showed some of the different things you can do there. Can you talk a little bit about the area that you represent?
Yes. Well, I think I live in a fabulous area. It's sort of in a very convenient location. It's convenient to the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport. It's convenient, very convenient to downtown St. Paul. It's convenient to Minneapolis. I like to tell people who come to the Twin Cities that where I live, you can drive one way and be in the city. You can drive one way and sort of be in farm country or lake country, if you will. We have lots of hidden assets, if you will. We've got some great businesses there, so people can work and live in the community. We've got great restaurants, some great parks and trails. We also have the Civil Air Patrol, which I think is sort of a hidden gem in R-Inver Grove Heights, and they provide services across the entire state, so I'm very proud to have them right there in our community. So I just think, District 52B is just a very special place to live and a great place to raise a family. We have excellent schools as well.
And what are you hearing from constituents for what they'd like to see addressed during the 2018 session?
Well, I think everyone can agree that healthcare, we need to take a look at that. I think we've done a great job at stabilizing healthcare, but there is more work to be done. We've really got to get the cost piece under control, and I've heard from constituents about that. There's a lot of concern. People want us to continue to focus on the schools and make sure that we are keeping our schools and our kids safe, while we're also providing them with the best education possible. And I will tell you that we have some of the top-rated schools right in District 52B in our state, so I'm very proud of that. And I think just in general, people want to see us work together to get things done, and I am working really hard to help build relationships and work across the aisle to make sure that we're doing that, because I think at the end of the day, what really matters are doing the right thing for our citizens and our constituents. So those are the things I'm hearing about. They want us to get the work done.
And you've said that you intend to introduce a bill on the first day of session that would help protect consumers against identity theft. How did this bill manifest, and how would it help people protect personal data?
Well, I will tell you, I think I've been a victim of every data breach that's been out there, and I joke with my husband that I'll have identity theft protection probably for life, and that is not a good thing. And I was a little frustrated when the Experian data breach happened, and I found it a little bit of a conflict, if you will, for the company that didn't protect the data that they collected, that they're now hurting people a second time by charging them to protect their data after the fact. And I just think that's not right. I think that our citizens and our constituents need to be protected from unnecessary fees, and I think that in the event of identity theft or data breach, which is what we're seeing more and more of, that they should be able to protect their data without having to pay a fee to do so, and that's what my bill would do.
And outside of the legislature, you're a small business owner doing corporate consulting and executive coaching. Is Minnesota a good state to own a business?
You know, I would say that we need to do some work. I work with a lot of small to mid-sized companies, so I hear all of the challenges that they're facing. Sometimes it's around talent, getting the right talent and workers to do the work, and I think that's where we're making inroads with what we do from an educational standpoint. But the other side of it is that there's a lot of regulations. Sometimes we as a state don't make it easy to do business here, and that's one of the reasons that I ran. In my community, there were 2 businesses within a very short period of time. One left and took 400 jobs to Texas. The other one left and took 300 jobs to Wisconsin. And there are a lot of great things about Inver Grove, but it takes us a long time to get those kinds of good paying jobs in the community. And I don't want to see more businesses leave, not only my community, but the state as a whole, because I do think it's such a great place to live and work, and I want to make sure that people also have the opportunity to live and work in their communities. So,
You're a native New Yorker, but you've also been here in Minnesota for a while now. Who handles winter better? Is it the New Yorkers or Minnesotans?
Hands down, Minnesota handles the winter weather better. And actually, I'm an outdoor gal, and I spend more time outside here in the winter than I ever did in New York, just because Minnesota knows how to move snow and keep the roads clear, and that means that I can get out and walk my dog on a regular basis, and I appreciate that.